So I am going to talk about digital literacy. So Google, we started as a search company, and this one we're going to try to be hands-on. So those of you who have devices in front of you, please take them out. We'll walk through some hands-on stuff. So I call this session "So You Think You Can Search." How many people use Google search? You're in the right place. Okay, so we're going to start first. You will need the Chrome browser for this session. So if you have Chrome installed on your mobile phone or iPad or laptop, great. If you don't, then just go download it, google.com/chrome, or if it's on a mobile device, you'll just find the app. So I want to start off first by talking about Google. We started as a search company, right? And our founders, when they started a company in 1998, their mission was to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. This Google Doodle is what we call the Doodle. It was actually I think we had a Doodle for Google competition for K-12 kids here in Hong Kong last year, and this was one of the winning Doodle from one of the Hong Kong kids that got put on our webpage. So again, for recap, just for those who don't, who came late or didn't see my earlier session, this is our main website. So if you want to learn about some of the tools of which I'm talking about, one of them today, this is the website you go to, and it'll be under tools to find access to all this information. So today I'm going to talk about search. Why don't we teach kids how to use Control F? Anybody know what Control F is? Fine. Right? It's a shortcut for when you have a web page and you have a lot of information, you just want to find a certain keyword, you put Control F and then you put in the phrase. So I want to start off first by showing a video of why search is important, and it's almost the starting point when we talk about teaching kids how to use technology.
We teach search because Google is this wealth of tools to be used for finding and making sense of the information and ideas that you find on the web. But what we discovered through our work is that most people only know about a small fraction of these tools.
Librarians have always taught search, but it's changed now in that we have such an incredible amount of information available to us.
We're able to help kids move from a very overwhelming search to a search that's more manageable.
How do you guys use Google? That's right, everyone does, right? Alright, so today we're going to be teaching you guys some effective ways to research and search using Google.
We're going to give a class that maybe the dates would be helpful with. What would you use it with? Give me an example.
History.
History, how?
So like if you don't know the name of it, you can find it with the time.
Perfect.
So I'm going to go to the custom range right here and go to July 1st. Through now. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me all of the articles and all the information from July 1st to now.
Technology has totally transformed our job. We used to deal primarily with print, and now our students need to be literate in not only print, but they also need to be visually literate.
Let's say we want to see like an action shot from like a game or maybe the field. So what color would you primarily see like an action shot? So it's probably going to be green because they're on the field, right? So we can go down here and click green. So now we can see action shots of people on the field.
We know that educators are awfully busy and that they really need training on their own schedule. So we provide a lot of online tools, webinars and lesson plans and things that educators can access and use at their own time, their own pace.
The new digital divide is those that are able to search and those that aren't able to search. It's about critical thinking skills. It's about being independent learners. And we need to make sure that we cultivate these skills within our students so that when they go out into the world after high school, whether it's college, career, life, they will know how to search and be able to be critical thinkers.
So you can find out more information on that site. Don't worry, I'll show it again later. So I wanna start off first by how many of you think you can search well? Like you know how to search effectively? It's okay to be honest. Or to be confident. Okay, not many, a handful. So hopefully today we'll walk through a couple of tips and tricks, that will make you become better searchers. So I'm going to start off first with what we call search symbols. Now, with search symbols, obviously when you go to Google, let's start with this. So let's say, when you go to Google, always, because we're in Hong Kong, it'll redirect you to the google.com.hk site. Now, if I search for, let's say I'm searching for the word Jaguar, it'll give me a lot of different types of information. First of all, let me teach you, if you don't want to get the local results, the first thing you do is you go up here and you type in google.com/NCR. Zoom in there. Now NCR stands for no country redirect. So when you do that, it'll give you the generic google.com results. So it'll give you, now when I search for Jaguar, it won't give me completely different results, right? You see there's obviously no Chinese search phrases. Now obviously if you want local results, then you just use google.com.hk. Okay, so the first thing I want to search for, I'm going to teach you guys about is search symbol. So we talk about NCR, so google.com NCR. When you do a search, for example, for a term like Jaguar, now I get 160 million results, right? I mean, not all of it's relevant to me, right? So let's say I'm looking for Jaguar the car, but I don't really want to see Jaguar the animal, or vice versa. Actually, I'm searching for images for Jaguar. So in your class, you're doing a project on Jaguar the cat. If you don't want cars to appear, you use a search symbol called the negative sign. So you put the word the negative in there, and then you put the word car, right? So this will take away all results. Oops, Wi-Fi. Thank you. So you can go back to Jaguar, and then you take away the word car. So now close. So you have to jump on the news. Okay, so now straight away, by filtering the results, filtering out the word car, by taking out the word car, I've gone down to 96 million results. Still not great, but slightly better, right? So you get the idea. You can do more and more things. So if you don't want certain things, you put the negative sign in front of it. Now obviously it works for the plus as well. So if you want more results that are specific to a certain topic, you can put the plus sign. That will give you more results on cars. So it'll push up the results that are related to cars. Okay, so that is the search symbol plus and minus. Asterisk. So let's say if you're searching, if you want results to come in on a certain type of that appear in that order. So it will only show you results that have the word Jaguar cat in that order. And then I can still add the negative car, and all of a sudden you can see the results go down to 73,100, right? So I managed to shrink it down from 160 million to 73,100, and I'm getting more and more specific to what I'm searching for, right? Instead of having to go to page 2, page 3, page 4, right? So these are all different types of search symbols. Asterisk is if you don't know something. So let's say you don't know a certain word. So let's say. Let's pick, let's say, everyone knows what this is, right? Oppa, I don't know what the middle word is, but I just know the Oppa and I know style. So if you put an asterisk in there, it'll search out the phrase and it'll show you the Gangnam Style, which is really the word that you've forgotten, right? So asterisk is if you forget a certain word, you put the word asterisk in, the symbol asterisk in there. Any questions so far? So that's search symbols. Yeah, so we've done that. So search symbols. So the next area is around search operators. So search operators are these things. When you want to find a specific type of information. So back to our search results. So let's say I'm again on Jaguar, and let's say let's say I'm the teacher and you guys are all my students, and I give you guys a homework assignment to build a presentation on Jaguar the cat, right? Now most people what will most people do? Go to Wikipedia or find images, find different types of information. You upload it to your PowerPoint, or whatever format. Now, what if if I told you you could just find it again with the search operator of file type PowerPoint.ppt. So again, I didn't say how you're going to do it, right? I just say you need to come up with a PowerPoint presentation on. Did I have that wrong? File type. There we go. So Jaguar. So let's include the minus cat car. So all of a sudden I have what's it have? Okay, so I now have PowerPoint presentations, right? I can find specific file types on Jaguar cats, right? So you get the idea. If you want to find specific, and this applies to anything, right? It could be intro to psychology. And I have the specific file type. You see all my results now are all PowerPoint files. And find the best one, download it, homework done, right? I don't even have to create a PowerPoint presentation. No, don't listen, that's not true. So you need to do your work, do your proper work. So you get the idea, file type, PowerPoint, and this works with all different file types, PDF. So if you only want to find information that are specific PDFs, again, same thing, you type in file type, again, .pdf is the shortcode. One good way to do this is under advanced search. So you can put that in also in file type. So down here, you can file any file type. So you can enter it under advanced search, or if you know the shortcut, you can just type it into Google. So that's a file type. So again, don't go through millions and millions of search results. Don't go to, if you find yourself always going to page 2, page 3, page 4, that means you're not searching effectively, right? Most of the results, if you're searching using the right search terms, search operators, should be on the first 2 pages, I would say. So, use all these different, what we call search operators. So the short link, if you want to find more on different file search operators and search symbols is in there. Define is another useful. Let's say if you don't know a certain word, define communism. You can just type in the word define and then followed by the word that you don't know. Again, we have a built-in dictionary into Google, and you can even
communism.
How it's supposed to be pronounced and so forth. So useful. Again, think of Google now as your dictionary, right? You don't have to go to dictionary.com or one of these places. So define and then the search term that you're looking for. Site. So let's say if you want to find, again, if I'm looking for, let's start with communism. If I'm looking for information on communism, and again, when I type in communism, you can see there are 23 million results, a whole lot of information, right? But I only want certain accredited sources, right? So let's say and most of them again could be EDU sites, right? Education sites, university sites, right? So you put in communism site and then the type of website that you want, right? And then again, it'll give me all the results. Again, will be only from sites that have .edu, etc. So again, and you can add as many operators as you want. So again, if I want file types from EDU sites that are PowerPoint, on communism. Again, I get all the all the specific search operators in there. Questions? Make sense? Okay. So you can do this for as many. Again, you can add it for different types of sites: .org, .com, whatever type site. So again, find information relevant to what you're looking for, right? Instead of trying to just type in communism and you get a few hundred million results. Okay. The Omnibox. So the Omnibox is this thing we call up here, where you type in the address. Now, we've built in a lot of things into the Omnibox. So you don't even need to go to google.com. You can just type it in here in the browser. So some of the examples of things you can do. And why don't we do this? I'll get you guys to do this. So why don't we start off first? Oops, I don't want to share this. Why don't we start off first by search for the weather in your favorite city. So those of you who have devices in front of you, just type in whatever your favorite city is followed by the word weather. Everyone get there? So for me, for example, I'll do New York weather. Right, so again, having, we aggregate information from various weather sites onto Google. So again, you can tell the weather in a certain place. You can even look here in Hong Kong easily, even as down to the lower cities, because it's all aggregating information on Google. So you can see the weather forecast and so forth. Again, all this built into Google. All right, what do we have next? Math. All right, where are the math teachers? Again, math teachers. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys to do simple math, right? So again, we built in a calculator into Google. So again, in the Omni box, again, you don't have to go to google.com. You can type in any math calculation, including sort of scientific terms. So let's say I want to find what the typical addition, subtraction, multiplication, quite easy. But I want to find the cosine of 90 degrees. Again, having that scientific calculator built into Google, again, without having to go to some other website. You can even do graphing. So let's say, if I want to graph out, what this particular graph will look like. You could type it in, the results and play around with the data as well. So having sort of math built into Google search, again, having that calculator function. Okay, flights. How many of you travel often? Another really useful thing is we've incorporated flight search. So for example, I'm going back to Singapore today because my parents are there. I'm going to visit them on the way home. I want to find all the flights that are from Hong Kong to Singapore. If you travel like me and you remember airport codes, you can spell it out as well, but I remember the airport code. So I know exactly these are all the flights that are happening between Hong Kong and Singapore today, and all the different airlines. Instead of having to go to a website, and try to find and all the different filters that they have as well. All this is in there. What's even more exciting, let's pick a flight. What time is it now? 12:50. So let's pick SQ891. So let's say if I'm on this flight and I tell my wife, hey honey, I'm gonna be on SQ891, and she wants to know where can she pick me up from. Again, just typing in the flight number in there, she knows that the flight's taken off. It's departed Hong Kong at 12:30 and it arrives in Singapore at 4:15 from Terminal 2. So she can just show up at Terminal 2. Again, having all that built in. We acquired a company not too long ago that looks at flight metadata as well. So if you want to look up aggregation, again, you want to find all the flights that are from Hong Kong to Singapore, for example. And any dates. Right, so you can find all the cost of the flights, on any specific date. What's even cooler here with the map here, you can then find relevant cities nearby. So all of a sudden, if I want to drag this, forget Singapore, I want to go to Bangkok. Again, it will show me the range from seasonal, how much it will cost in different times of the year, and again, look up exactly all the information I need, flights, right? So instead of having to go to Expedia or one of these sites, I mean, you still can, but again, all this is built into Google, and with the pricing information that's again aggregated from different sites as well. So you can't actually, it's just a search aggregator, right? You can't actually book the flight here, obviously, you still have to go to the website. So fairly useful information when it comes to flying, right? Instead of having to go to different websites for the different airlines, everything is in one place. Okay, what else do we have? Currency. So again, if you're traveling, you want to find something easily. Typically, people go to a site like xe.com to do currency conversion, but why bother, right? So if 250 Hong Kong dollars. I want to know how much it is in Singapore dollars because I have leftover Hong Kong dollars and I want to change it back to Singapore dollars. So you have all that built in into again, you can spell it out. You don't need to remember the dollar codes. Now, what's even cooler, typically if you have multiple currencies, so if you travel to a few places, you have multiple currencies, and you want to figure out how all of them will convert back to Hong Kong dollar. So what do you typically, again, you go to one of these currency conversion sites and you change them one at a time until you get what the Hong Kong dollar is. Now, what if I told you all of this can be done in Google? So let's say I have 25 Singapore dollars, I have 50 US, you can spell it out. I have 20 British pounds, GBP, and I want to know how much is that in Hong Kong dollars. having all that sort of computed for you in a matter of seconds, 0.95 seconds, right? Instead of having to change the currency, the drop down, and then the different side, and having to do the addition and everything. So all of this all built into Google, right? All of this is any device, any platform, all free, right? Everything's at the access of your fingertips. So that's the Google Omnibox. Timer, I forgot timer. So other things you can do, there's a whole list. I don't have time to go into every single one of them. Let's say if you want to, very quickly, you want to set, you're running a quiz in your class and you want to set a timer for 5 minutes. Again, Google. It's not coming up for me. So if typically, it usually does. If you set a timer for 5 minutes, it will do a countdown within the search results as well. So that's the Google Omnibox. So there are all these different types of searches that you can do. Again, built into search that we've included in there as well. How much time do I have? Other search tools, over time, we've incorporated different types of searches, and I'll show a couple of these, in here as well. So one of the big things that we've done obviously is we've incorporated voice search into our functionality. Again, if you're on a mobile device, you don't really want to type, long search queries in there. We've built in, again, this is within Chrome. We've built in, you see the OK. So I can activate it. OK Google. OK Google. Hong Kong weather. Right, so straight away.
It's 32 degrees and mostly sunny in Hong Kong.
Great. So thank you. So having sort of that voice search feature built in there, is really useful again, for especially if you have special needs kids who may not be able to type and do different types of things. So voice search works across our different products. Now image search also, if you want to look up images, it's under images.google.com. So again, you want to search different types of images. Now, again, you can do all the different types of searches. They give you all the different, if you want to look at cars, and they'll give you all the cars, right? It's pretty specific. Now, what if you don't know what you're searching for? Okay. What if you don't, let's say you're traveling. Let's say you're traveling in some foreign country, and then you see something, but you don't know what it is. How do you find out something you don't know what it is? Take a picture, right? So let's say, I just did this earlier. So let's say I have an image like this one here, right? That I took, that I found. Now I have no idea what building this is, right? So all of you obviously here know what this building is, and there's nothing in this building that there's nothing in the file type. It's just called image.jpg. That's the file name, and I want to know. For example, what this picture is, right? So how do I don't know what I don't know, right? So I'm going to upload this picture, to Google, and I'm going to ask Google what is this picture of, and best guess for this image, IFC building, Hong Kong. So it's not too bad, right? And you can use visually similar images, and that's the power of the internet, right? You have all this information online that people have created, people have taken photos, and they've tagged them. So why don't you link all this information together? So you can again upload, and this could be a nice exercise for your kids, right? Go out there, they're taking photos with their whatever tablet or smartphone or whatever, and then get them to do a project, on explaining what it is. So image search, earlier you saw so let's say, again, IFC, so I have IFC tower, so I don't have to type it in. So I have IFC tower, now I want, I have all these images of IFC tower. There are different search tools within there, so you can search by size. So let's say if I want the really large images, I can pick just the really large images, so, better resolution, and so forth. Now, if I want, night shots, if I wanted a picture of IFC at night, typically what do you associate with night shots? The color black, right? So I'm going to change, I want all the photos of the color black in there. And straight away it gives me, all the images of most of the time images that are, have sort of the dark background in there, usually night shots, right? You can do different things, so different types of animated, GIFs, clip arts, and so forth. If I want to search for within the past certain certain period. So, for example, if I know something happened, to the IFC, at the IFC, within the last week, I can search it. I can find just images that are uploaded within the last week, right? So you get the idea. There's a whole lot of filters that you can apply to it, right? Just again being smarter about how you find the right information. Usage rights again. If you're going to republish this information, you're going to publish it somewhere. Please make sure that you either cite it or pick images that are Creative Commons and available. So this is important. I think this is something that teaching your kids how to not just steal information that they find on the internet, but how to give proper accreditation and so on. So you can remove all the filters and you go back to zero. So this is, again, fairly useful when it comes to image search, right? You can search for any type of image, and trust me, there are thousands of. Again, these are all Google as a search engine has indexed all the photos, all the images that are online and public, and made it available here. So that's image search. Any questions on image search? I think quite straightforward. Okay, the Google Art Project, in the interest of time, I know I'm rushing here, but how many people have seen the Google Art Project? Not a whole lot. Okay, Google Art Project is really fascinating. It's with a team at Google, they're really interested in art. And so what, they started as a 20% project, and they started to work with a lot of museums to archive and index a lot of artwork, right? So if you think of, a famous painter, Van Gogh. So let's say, I'm a big Van Gogh fan, and I type in Van Gogh in there, it'll give me information specific to Van, where are Van Gogh paintings displayed and so forth. Let's just go to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. So for example, now I'm at the Van Gogh Museum. Now I can do a tour of the building, right? So we've done street view. People familiar with street view? We've done street view inside the museum with our backpacks, and you can essentially take a walk through the museum, right? You're gonna feel like you're there. You're gonna have to, I call it the next best thing to being there. And then if you have a specific artwork, let's find this painting. So I can click to this artwork and bring me to that part of the museum. Now, let's say I have this famous artwork here, right? And people have seen this image. I don't think it'll do it justice. So one of the things I can do is I can zoom in, to very fine detail. I don't think the projector will be high enough resolution. Oh, maybe. You think about the amount of detail that gets into. I don't think in certain museums you don't even get this close. They don't even allow you to get this close to the painting, right? You think of every single inch, can be viewed. So think of, again, there's so much information, right? I mean, when we talk about Google as a search engine, information comes in different forms, and artwork and pictures are just one of them. So again, it works across any. So if you want to go to the Museum of Modern Art, I just go there and I'll find all the images. I can take a street view of. I can take a street view of the museum. Same thing, or I can go to level 1, level 2, second floor, fifth, and again have a walk through the museum. It's a great activity to do with your kids. Same Starry Night, one of the famous ones, and you can zoom in. It takes a while for the image to but you get to that level of details. It's really amazing. So there's a lot of information that's on there that's really useful. It's just a fun thing. Under the art project also we have these two which I won't go. Maybe let's show World Wonders. So World Wonders, again, we've gone to famous landmarks, famous artifacts around the world, and you can look at different types of landmarks. Let's go to the Taj Mahal. So I want to go see the Taj Mahal, right? I can find out information about the Taj Mahal, where it is, a bit of history about the Taj Mahal. I can read about the exhibit. I can go take a street view of the Taj Mahal. So again, I can walk around the museum, walk in the museum, around the ground, and really fascinating when you think of the amount of information. You can take a tour of the museum as well. So really, again, rich information, right? It gives you old images from 1878 and so forth, right? All again at the click of your fingertips here. So World Wonders, fantastic again, resource. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can explore, historic moments, World War One, World War Two. You get the idea. So we're starting to archive and index a lot of these famous landmarks, historical moments that happen, in different parts of the world, as well. Cultural figures, women in culture. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of. We don't have time, but it's fun. Go play around a bit. Again, this is all free. It's all there, right? It's all information that you can access. Maps. So we've done a lot of work with maps, right? As a company, we know like how much information and how difficult it is to index maps. I think Apple found that out as well. It's really hard to make good maps. So again, I'm under NCR, but again, if you like Google, Google.com HK will bring you to. So let's say I'll bring us back to Hong Kong here. So I wanna zoom in on maps, right? So maps, fairly straightforward. You can search for a specific city, university in Hong Kong, right? We can go in there. I can see what photos people have taken of city, university. These are all again public index pictures. Of the place. So rich information. I can go to Earth. You can do Street View as well. So a whole bunch of information. You can do directions. If I want to find out how to get from CU to anywhere else. I can do directions. Not directions, but I can do the Earth view again. So we've incorporated Google Earth. And those who've played around with Google Earth over the years, we've now built this into the browser. Right. So you don't need separate software. It's all browser-based technology. What's even cool, a nice activity I like to do with kids is as you zoom out of the Earth view, we've done zoom out even more. We've done real-time cloud cover as well, so you can see like weather zones, weather patterns as well over certain areas. So I know we're no longer at T8. It's moving away. Now, if you zoom out even more, so again, you can move around the world. If you zoom out even more, what's really interesting is where you zoom out all the way, and we've now started to map solar system. So you move around the Earth, you can see, like this part, which is the United States, are now at nighttime. Right? So you see all the lights there, and this part of the world is daytime. Right? Australia is daytime, Asia, Europe are all daytime, and then you can see the sun. You can, the lighting isn't too good on the screen, but if you do that on your own device, you can see, the different stars and the different planets. You can even, I think you can do a street view of Mars. Probably do that. Of the moon. No, it's giving me an address. Yeah, so you get the idea. So fun activity to do with your kids around using some of these mapping technology. You can build your own maps also. So under My Maps. So let's go back to City University of Hong Kong. You can send this to a device. You can build a specific map that's relevant to you as well, and save it on your own mapping area. So we have. For example, if you're going on holiday, and this is an activity I do with my kids. If we're going on holiday somewhere, I'll build a whole series of maps for the kids to see. Like when we fly from one place to another, this is what the journey is, and then we land there, and this is information about the place. So there's a whole bunch of information that you can do. Obviously, Street View, you can incorporate that into any of the maps. I don't know why I landed on the bridge, but you get the idea. Okay. Another nice feature also we've incorporated. Okay, this is not a good example. Let's just let's see Fukushima. So let's say one thing we've done with Street View also is we've incorporated sort of historical relevance, right? So for example, Fukushima that was affected by the actually this is not good. I don't know what the we can find like where the nuclear plant was, and take it before like the nuclear reactor melted down, and then after. So you can see the changes in Street View. I think this certain parts, again, depending on how often our Street View cars drive through. Let's find something more common. Let's find the Eiffel Tower. So with the Eiffel Tower here. The other way. It is a plaza. Anyway, yeah. So I think on certain ones, yeah. So you can see like we've collected different data from different times. You can sort of zoom back over. These are pictures, but because we're not in the air. But if you're on the ground, you can zoom to different parts in different images that we've taken from the past. So you can see the change happen over a certain area as well, which is interesting. Google Scholar, again, I know we have a big so Scholar is our database of sort of literary works and professional works that have been cited. So let's say I want to again go back to I don't know why I'm on this topic of communism in Hong Kong, but you want to find articles on communism that have been cited, that have been literary works, sort of more professional, not Wikipedia stuff. Google Scholar is a good resource as well. So there's a whole bunch of different information, again different sources of information. One of the I was just playing this last night, and we have news under the news section. We've actually started to archive a lot of old newspapers. So let's say I'm looking again. I saw this. I didn't search for any Hong Kong. I want to find the Sydney Morning Herald. So let's find the Sydney. So these are all the different newspapers. Sydney Morning Herald. So let's say, because I was looking at old articles, so you can, we've started to index all these old newspapers from Sydney Morning Herald, which is the main newspaper where I live, and you can go back and let's say I want to find the Sydney Morning Herald article from January 5th, 1920. I want to read it for some reason. You can zoom into to the exact article, I guess, or page of the Sydney Morning Herald on January 5th, 1920. Again, starting to archive, a lot of this type of information, that's we believe is going to be useful as we become sort of that place where people come to find information. Okay, Google Easter eggs. So one of the nice things working at Google is engineers have fun. They have fun with the products, and they oftentimes build certain tricks and tips into Google called Easter eggs. So I'll show you a couple. So if you just type in tilt into Google, you see it tilts a little. I don't know if you can see it on the sort of tilt. Or if you type in do a barrel roll, it will do a spin into Google. If you're a big computer geek or toy geek, you type in Zerg Rush in there, and it will literally destroy the page over time as well. Yeah, some of the fun, crazy things. If you wanna play Pac-Man, you can play Pac-Man within the browser as well. Loading. Ready, go. I'm not very good at this. Yeah, so you can play Pac-Man. Don't do it. Waste a lot of your time. If you want to see, again, as a company, we were founded in 1998. You want to see what Google looked like in 1998? You type in Google in 1998, and it brings you to what the interface looks like in 1998. And then you can use it as so you'll still run the current search results, but you get the user interface from. How do you do that? It would. Yeah, so I can't remember how to do it. So you can type in and read. This is what the website looked like in 1998. But one of my favorite ones, which I just found out not too long ago, is this thing called when you're not connected. So when you're not connected, so let's say I turn on my Wi-Fi here, right? What happens? So let's say if I'm not connected now, I turn on my Wi-Fi, I go to google.com, it'll give me something like that. Unable to connect to the internet. Now, some engineer thought it would be funny to build a game into this thing. So if you're on this page, if you type in the spacebar, again, I think this only works on the laptop. So you hit the spacebar, it plays a game. So you can start playing a game, and play the game while you're not connected to the internet until the internet comes up, right? So you get the idea. Oh, game over. So yeah, Easter egg, one thing that you can do. What do we have here? Okay, so just to end up, I know we're sort of out of time here. one of the exciting websites that we've built also is googleaday.com. This is something that you can run with your students and your kids. So using all some of the different search tools that I showed you earlier, they can play games to find information. So if you're running a project on, again, any topic, right, that you can think of, they can use all the different search tools to find the relevant information and make it like a game. So teaching them how to search the right way. So this is googleaday.com. Just a recap of the website again. So if you want to find out more about some of the things that I showed earlier, it's all the stuff I showed is online, it's free, it's accessible. That's the website to find out more tips, tricks, power searching. Hopefully at least everyone learned one thing new from this session that you didn't know before. Right? So hopefully you can go back and impress your students on some new tip or trick that you've done as well. So with that, I think, thank you.
Thanks, Sean. That's really fun. I think we all learned quite a few things. I can play the games. I'm always locked out.